Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. We're counting. Whoop. There's my machine open here. We're counting. I believe we might be, if I remember correctly, we're in the 30th day, which is good. Good.
You get on okay?
Yeah.
You want?
Okay. My sacred partner will join us any day now. I'm starting to speak in old rock and roll lyrics. I don't know what to make of that. There's something about the love language in the Song of Songs, and to capture something original in sweetheart to sweetheart language is a challenge. In many ways, more so than the Psalms. The Psalms, it was more like how to reclaim something original in spiritual language, which is in itself a challenge. But with the Song of Songs, it's how to lift up a little originality in sweetheart to sweetheart love language. It's difficult. It's difficult. I understand now why all the lyrics of the songs that we know, the popular songs, are so similar. There's rarely a challenging or original image. I get it now. It's an interesting conundrum. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm thinking about it because I've been doing some translating and working the pieces and trying to work them into some music as well. We're drinking a very fine tea, a Russian tea this morning, which means it's a black tea with a little bit of smoke in it. Just a little. I like a little, and I don't like a very tame Russian tea. I like a Russian tea that has a little kick to it. So I tend to purchase not the more elevated varieties. I like the common varieties that have a more of a ruffle in them. Everything created according to your word. Amen. Not bad, not bad. וערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, גאולן ידי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. Amen. Oh God, make the words of, oh God, pause. Make the words of your teaching pleasant on our lips and the lips of all of those that come into our screens, so that we can spend a time in learning for the pleasure of it and for the opening of the gates. We're moving through the 49 gates of opening in preparation for the receiving of our durable wisdom, the 50th gate, our book. The door onto learning and onto transformative activity, that we connect with the Sfirot, that learning opens. Blessed are you who teaches to your people. Pause in this fashion. Amen. Okay, kids, thanks for being here. Hello, Alyssa. Russian tea with a little smoky. That's right. Hello, Sam. Yes, we're having a black tea Russian. Has a tiny little smoke in it and a kick. I like Russian tea because it generally is a little rough, you know. It's good. Hello, Greg. Hello, Larry. Hello, Alyssa. Yes, we're on day 30. So we're in a very steamy part of the Song of Songs. I mentioned in the beginning, when I'm translating, I'm doing just playing with the translations and attaching a little music to them, and how difficult it is to lift up something original out of the love language of the Song of Songs, of sweetheart to sweetheart language. So difficult to lift up something original. And I was relating how, in the love songs that we grew up with, basically the images are the same. There's a reason for that. It's very hard to pull out something original with love language. And I feel it even in the Song of Songs. When we were doing the Psalms this way, in the Psalms project, by the way, the Psalms project, we're going to bring out the music that came out of them. Going to do a concert in January, streaming and live. It's going to be good. I'll give you more information on that. And oops, Susie's texting. Okay, I see. So anyway, I didn't run into that problem with the Psalms. Even though the language is equally uh, rarefied, rarefied language of the Song of Songs as the Psalms, the vocabulary quite unique to these texts and interesting, really interesting, both vocabulary and syntax. Really interesting. Oh my goodness. So let's get cooking. We have what to do. We're gonna do some text. We're gonna do some Omer counting, and of course, we're gonna end with what we need to end with in these days. Oh my God, there's prayer for healing, the necessity for healing in our time, in our time, in our time. Yesterday's session was somewhat revelational, even to me, in the speaking of the material I had prepared. Something new arose, something really interesting that I wrote into the ritual that we evolve in doing this project. So we're counting in the fifth week, and I'll share it with you. Gevura, today is Gevura within Hod. Gevura Shebehod. Gevura, we start, just to recap quickly, each week in the 7 weeks, attached to a different energy, the 7 energies of proximity, not the 3 loftiest energies, but the 7 energies of proximity that correspond to the Sfirot. We could do a session on the Sfirot, but that's a larger subject. We do attach the Omer counting to the Sfirot in the sense that in 7 weeks, each week is given over to one of those 7 energies. And within the week, each day is given to the working of that energy within the weekly energy, as if like the context of the weekly energy. And as Rabbi Nachman taught, it's a kind of a spiritual alignment when you become aware of these energies and place yourself in the day with an awareness of the energy. It's a certain sort of spiritual alignment. I mean, so this week we're in the week of Hod. Hod, some sort of beauty, grateful, humble. And today it's Gevura Shibahod. Remember, there's Chesed and Gevura, a dyadic rather. But we're thinking in threes as we move through the Sfirot. And I had an insight about that yesterday. I had an insight about the threes that I wrote into our ritual. Hello, Sam. Hello, Susan. Hello, Jody. The week of Hod, some sort of beauty, grateful, humble. How difficult was it last week, that elusive triumphalism we felt the absence of. What was last week? Netzach. Do not think of it independently from this week, Hod. This was the insight for me. They are bonded together more than other dyads of the Sephirotic system, more than the two above, for example, Chesed and Gevura, closer together. Yet remember, we are thinking in threes, triads. Look ahead, and here's why. Look ahead. What was missing last week may appear this week, or together they may make a unity that will be expressed through next week. Look ahead. What was missing last week may appear this week, or together they may make a unity that will be expressed next week. Next week happens to be Yesod, which is physical, dynamic, generative, expressing spiritual realities through the flesh. Flesh expressing through the spiritual. What I mean is a spiritual experience. Today, Gevura pushing strength, that muscle of restraint we call Gevura. Chesed, love. Gevura, restraint. Tiferet, beauty. First triad. Netzach, you think you know. Hod, you don't. Yesod, foundation in the body. Second triad. Then Malchut, the spigot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitsham b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu asfirat ha'omer. Hayom 30 yom shehem arba'a shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is day 30 of the Omer, which is 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Bless our president, our vice president, our mayors, and all their noble retinue. The counting of the Omer, as taught by Randy Newman, Paul Simon, Joni, Laura, Prince, Richard Thompson, and Ben Bagbag. Fountain, its origins, love, chesed, loving kindness, overflowing, negotiations by Gevura, restraint, lifted up and balanced into Tiferet, beauty. With Netzach, this time ready, second pass, you think you know. You don't know. Looking for soul in Hod, settling into synthesis, Yesod, in your slacks. With Malchut, the spigot is yours. Turn it. Don't turn it. Why we count in threes during the Omer? Look ahead. What was missing last week may appear this week. Or together they may make a unity that will be expressed through next week. Try and make it a spiritual experience. Amen. All right, kids, let's go to the text. Fasten your seatbelts. This text is body. It's really interesting, but it's a challenge. We're in the part of the text called the Wasif in Arabic, a poem that describes your beloved's physical nature, top to bottom. In this case, in this one, bottom to top. We're moving bottom to top. So we're in chapter 7. Yesterday, it got just too steamy. I had to stop. It was just too much for me. I had to go lie down. So let's continue. We'll do a few more verses. Let's see what time we got. Yeah, we can do a few more verses. So we left off at Dod is describing his beloved's breasts, as it were. Shnei Shadayich Yishnei Afarim Omer Tzviya. That's in chapter 7, verse 4. Your two breasts like two animals, two little deers, twin 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 gazelles. Beautiful. What are the common images here of our? Oh, I like to go back to chapter verse 3 for a second, just because I like to pick it up there because it has one of my favorite lines. Shararech agan hasahar. Shararech, your navel, your navel. This is great. I finally come upon a text that uses one of my favorite words. So, Septuagint, the early Greek translation, translates Shararech as omphalos. Can it be more delicious than that? It's a word that's so dear to me. Omphalos, belly button, also interpreted in more challenging ways than this. But let's just, for now, which I think Sam picked up on, Shararech agan hasahar. Like what's rounded? Something like a goblet, and sahar is an interesting word. In other places in our book, it's used as like a jail, but a jail could have been like a roundhouse. Beit hasohar could have been a roundhouse that was used as an enclosed, like a prison. Sahar has a sense of roundness, and agan is some sort of bowl, like the curve of a body. Al yachsar hamazeg, belly is like bit nech, aremat chitim, like grouping of wheat, like wheat. Sugava Shoshanim, set within Shoshanim, lilies. So great. Your omphalos, your belly button. Now, we're going here. The other descriptions we had, for example, in chapter 4, I think it was, we go from the head downwards. So here we're going from the feet upwards. Shnei, in verse 4, Shnei Shandai Kishnei Afarim Da'ome Tzviyah. So your two breasts like two little deers, what do you call them? Fawns, like twins, like gazelles. And oh, the neck. The neck always gets a lot of attention in our poem. Savarech kemigdal hashem, like an ivory tower, like a beautiful tower, your neck. We've encountered these images before. Einaychem berechot becheshbon, like the pools, your eyes like pools. Cheshbon sha'ar bat rabim, like the gate in a place, maybe bat rabim, like I'm not sure what that is. It might be a pot, a large city, bat rabim, many inhabitants. This from Rashi. Kamigdala Lebanon, like the Tower of Lebanon, Sofer Pene Hamasek, which looks toward Damasek, Damascus, looking out towards Damascus, towards the north. Roshech Alaych, the head on you. This is interesting locution. The head on you. Carmel, like the mountain Carmel. The head on you. I love this. Vidalat Roshech, Argaman purple. This has got purple hair, which is common with the older ladies in my neighborhood to this day. Argaman Melech Hasur, Vidalat Roshech, Argaman Melech Hasur. The king held captive in uh, in what do you call them? Tresses. Oh my God, it's so good. You had like the summit of Carmel. Now, what do we make about how we're moving now from the lower extremities to our upper extremities? Who would have noticed the difference if we hadn't already had a passage in chapter 4 where we had a wasaf like this that went from the upper extremities to the lower extremities? Who would have noticed that? Hello, Debbie. Hello, Michael. So I think we'll take it up to there. I'm hoping that my sacred partner will be back with us. If not tomorrow, someday soon. See, I'm thinking in old lyrics, a lot of Beatles stuff. Oh my God. And Lieber Stoller, that kind of thing. So we're going to pause and take a breath and close with what we should close with, which is a prayer for healing. What do we need? We need a little healing. Oh my goodness. Both of these efforts that we've engaged in, this ritual that we've explored these last few years, first with the Psalms, then with Song of Songs, emerged out of a necessity, some sort of old new ritual in our language, an old new ritual. And in both, we tended to conclude with a prayer for healing. Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf. Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, for the healing of the spirit and healing of the body, for the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body, for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel. Behind me, the angel Raphael. Above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head. Shekhinah. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, great healer. Amen. Amen. Bless you, babies. Thanks for coming. Drink some good tea. Make a blessing. Drink in fine white cups. And I hope, inshallah, Mitzvah Hashem will be here tomorrow, 9:30. Peace.